Am I good?
Yeah, let's... Oh, wait. Yeah, can you say something? Just want to check the...
Say something. I'm giving up on you.
Oh, I was going to do that.
Yeah.
Say something. I'm giving up on you. All right, we're good.
Okay.
Take my love, take my land, take me where I cannot stand. I don't care, I'm still free. You can't take the sky.
Welcome to First Reaction Fan Reaction episode. I don't know.
I think we're on 7. This
Sure.
is episode 7.
When we put these out, compared to when we put these out and when we record,
They go out. Yeah.
it's just like I don't remember. Anyway, I'm your host, Dara Whitman, and with me is my co-host.
Okay, Link Luthier.
Hey.
Hey, girl.
What's up?
What's up? Let's go.
All right, we're still on Firefly. We're almost done Firefly.
We are almost done. Can you believe it? Oh
Yeah,
my God.
we
It's a
got-
short series.
It is. It's so sad.
I know, it's really depressing,
Anyway,
actually.
so we are talking about episode 12 and 13, The Message and Heart of Gold.
Yeah.
And let's start off with The Message.
Ooh, the message.
Yep. And this time I actually took notes.
Ooh, yeah.
Like
notes.
ahead of time just because.
Yeah, we did planning.
We're learning. We are
Wonderful.
learning.
Yep.
Okay, so we start off in Agrabah.
Yeah, they're the Mos Eisley Katina.
I mean, yeah. That's I don't know. I'm merging to sing like Arabian Nights.
Arabian
Even though that's not anywhere in
Arabian
there.
Nights.
Anyway, so basically we're just in your basic space like area where
Cesspool of crime and villainy. Yes.
well, people were like bartering, they're like buying.
Yeah.
It's like a flea market,
it is nice. It's a nice flea
giant flea market.
Yeah.
And this guy's just like saying like, you're gonna see the weirdest thing ever, which turns out to be a mutated cow fetus.
Yeah.
Like you
That
do.
was just the thing. I'm not really sure why it was
I
a
think
thing, but it
because
was a
like
thing.
probably like I don't know. No, they do have cows
Yeah.
in that world. I guess it's just kind of a thing. Like it looked deformed enough that they could say it's an alien.
It's like some places have the largest ball of yarn. Other places have mutated cow fetuses.
Well,
That's
there's
just
like
how it works.
carnivals. Like, come see, that's the greatest thing. I can't do that.
Come see the greatest thing in the world.
How
It's-
you're so much better voices than I am. Anyway, Simon actually points it out, and he's with Kaylee, and they're being cute again.
Oh, they are.
They're being cute, and I think they're gonna have the first kiss next to a cow fetus.
Yeah, which is strange but romantic.
It is romantic. And then Simon has to just keep talking.
He just screws it all up.
I kind of realized obviously like he does screw it up because he just says something stupid, but like.
Which he does a lot.
But she does a lot, but like Kaylee, I was like, Kaylee just takes everything so literally.
She does. She kind of, yeah. Because like I think if you use a little empathy, you'll know that he's trying.
Because basically, like she kind of sees it as like, oh, I'm the only woman like around who you could be with because like it says everybody else is either married, a companion, or related to.
Yeah.
But like I mean, you know that he likes her.
He does.
He likes her, and like
He just doesn't know how to show it.
he just doesn't know. Yeah, he's just kind of he's silly, stupid. He's got a good doctor brain.
He's got a doctor brain. His people brain doesn't work as well.
No. And I think Zoe kind of like I don't know, 'cause like no, I think that's one thing like nobody points out to Kaylee. They're like, hey, you're taking things too literally, girl. Like maybe you should just like lighten up and like understand that like. And I mean, granted, like, yeah, you should express like saying, hey, like that offended me.
Yeah.
Then he could say, oh, I didn't mean to offend you. I really like you. Kiss.
No kiss.
The end.
Perfecto.
And then Wash is just into the cow.
Just a cow.
Meanwhile, Inara and Mal are talking. They're talking about, I said this, they're talking about the gun basically because they want to sell it.
Yeah.
I think they get some good money off of that.
Yeah.
I don't know how much, probably a lot.
Yeah, it's a gun.
Yeah. And they're going
Wild
to a post place
The post.
with the Jew.
With the space. Jew.
No, because like I didn't even notice that because like I totally forgot that he's wearing a yarmulke for a good while.
Yeah.
But
It's
so
a nice
basically,
hat.
in the DVD commentary, they do make the joke that he's the only Jew in space, and they call him a space Jew or spa Jew, if for short.
Oh no.
It's okay.
Oh my god.
They weren't okay. So they're at the mail and they get their mail. Jane gets a hat from his mother.
It's a cute hat.
It is a cute hat. And I think they're kind of making
Boy
fun.
loves his mama.
They're making fun of him, but like I respect that.
It's snowing outside.
Hope it doesn't snow too much. I have to go home. I have to get home.
Oh no. Okay.
I don't. about to say, I think it's like 40,
It's
50.
like flurrying.
Yeah, we're fine.
Or something. All right, just wanted to...
Anyway,
minor weather update. All right.
Mal and Zoe also get a present. And it's a dead body. And
Yay. It's what I always wanted.
Who doesn't like a corpse?
Who doesn't like a nice corpse?
Anyway, so that it's their buddy from the war, Private Tracy, who's played by, this is my fun fact, also fun. I got plenty of fun facts.
Oh, I love fun
So
facts.
the actor's name is Jonathan M. Woodward. Woodward, and so there was like a couple actors in Joss Whedon stuff who played like guest appearances or even like recurring roles in Buffy, Angel, and Firefly.
Ah.
So he did. So he was one of them.
Yeah.
So he's also. So you'll see the actor again in Angel and in Buffy when we
Right.
get to them. And then there's other actors. Andy Umberg, who I don't know who. I know who he's played in Buffy, but I know I was trying to look up who else he played, but I don't know who else he played. And then Carlos Jacket. I think I'm saying his name right.
Okay.
I remember who played in Buffy and Angel, and then in Firefly he was the government agent in episode 1. Remember that guy?
Yeah.
Yes,
Maybe.
the guy. He was like after Simon and River in the pilot.
Oh, yeah.
Like that other guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that guy.
And then Malik shoots him.
Yeah. That guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
That guy.
Got it.
Anyway, so then we flash back to the Battle of Dukang. Yeah.
7 years ago.
And we see Private Tracy, and he's preparing a meal. And
While he's getting chased down.
I know, like,
Boy ain't very bright.
and I wrote like this whole paragraph.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, because like I hate this. Like, dude, like
Please read this paragraph.
You're in the
I'm really
middle
excited
of
to
a
hear it.
battle. Like, do not like if you're gonna go into battle, make sure you eat beforehand.
Yeah.
Okay. Do not go into battle and don't eat, because then you'll eat during the battle when you gotta watch your back because somebody's trying to murder you.
Right.
It's like that chick in Hunger Games when she like lights a fire at night saying nobody's gonna come and kill me, and then guess what? They fucking kill her.
They killed her.
They killed her. You know why? Because you lit a fire, you idiot. I'm not saying you deserve to die.
Not saying you deserve it.
I'm just saying.
There's reasons.
I'm done.
Yep.
Anyway.
Hi.
And guess what? He is eating, and a soldier comes up.
Yeah.
And it's going to kill him.
Yeah.
And Zoe has to save his ass, because Zoe's a badass.
She is. What a lady.
Slits his throat, and then she points out that, like, hey, you need to be stealthy. Why are you eating these beans now? You idiot. And then she's like, no, you got to just, like, be stealthy and, like, be quiet. And then Mal ruins everything.
Yeah.
It just comes in.
Comes in like guns blazing, like,
Ah! And I'm just like, Mal, honey, you idiot.
but it works for him.
It does.
It works.
And that's, I mean, there's like a little bit more because the guy Tracy gets hurt and Mal helps him out, and then that's kind of the end of the flashback. Meanwhile, we go back to Agrabah. I don't know what the actual place is called, so I was going to say Agrabah. And there's these, I didn't realize that I thought they were actual soldiers, but they're like ex-soldiers.
Oh, okay.
And
I think they were kind of unclear about that in the episode until like the very end.
yeah, I thought they were just like lower. Hold on, let me actually. I don't know if they're not ex-soldiers. They're just like lower ranked.
Okay.
Because those. Oh yeah, because I keep like. So I'm reading Wikipedia and it says two ex-soldier. I think they're referring to Mel and Zoe. So they are like alliance. The people are the bad guys.
Yeah.
Are alliance. They're just like lower ranked alliance. Anyway. So they decide, okay, we're just going to take this body onto the ship because what else are we going to do? And they find a recording from Tracy and basically saying like, I ran in with some bad people.
I done messed up.
I'm dead. Can you take me back to my family? We've got a plot there. And you know how the old saying goes, right?
Yes, we all know the old saying.
I
guess.
I didn't know if you were gonna figure it out what the old saying was by the end. I knew what the old saying was.
Oh, okay.
Just like,
well, I
think I'm seeing if I wrote a note on that because of the paper. I was saying like, no, people don't know what the old saying is. I mean, I do because I've seen the episode a couple times, but Caitlin doesn't.
I do not. No, I did not.
No. But anyway, so there's that thing, and then the Alliance soldiers come in, and his name is Womack. I'm trying to watch.
Womack?
There's some movie with Sean Connery where there's like a villain named Womack. If this gets once it's popular, if anybody knows what I'm talking about, put it in the comments.
Please, we would really like to know because I have no idea what she's talking about.
I know it's a movie with Sean Connery. Anyway,
Sean Connery.
And they try to see. Because this thing, because like they blow out the candle, but they did actually burn the postman to death.
Oh,
and
rest in peace.
I didn't make any inappropriate jokes in the commentary about that. God. I didn't at all. No. Again, I can say them. It's fine.
Oh my god.
Okay, so USJWs, get over it.
Oh damn.
I will start a war against those people. I will.
Oh god.
I've got.
Oh no.
Maybe I'll talk about it eventually, but I have feelings about them.
Oh god. Okay.
Anyway, meanwhile,
more thoughts for another episode.
Kayla keeps listening to the recording, and like she finds it like really meaningful and thoughtful, and Simon's just like watching her listen to it, and I'm just like, Simon, you're losing to a corpse.
This is your chance, buddy. You got to jump in there.
But he's losing to like literally. Like, how do you like you were losing Kaylee?
How are you so bad at women that you lose to a corpse?
You're losing to a dead guy. You dunce. Mm-hmm. And then Mel and Zoe, they're just like telling funny stories about the war. And like
the wall,
you kind of wonder where the plot's going to go from here. Mm-hmm. Because at this point, I forgot to mention, like Waj basically goes up to the thing, and they're just like, "Look, we'll take the body back.
Yeah,
it's the right thing to do."
Everyone was cool with it.
Everybody's cool with it. And then, but they keep getting, somebody keeps shaking up the ship, and Womack is once they get on Serenity, and they think he's after the gun actually, because that's a valuable thing. But then he mentions the crate. So they think he's after the box that Tracy came in, which, like, why would you hide, like, the other stuff? Well, actually, it does make sense why you probably would hide other stuff with the dead body if the person wanted the stuff, like, was trying to protect the stuff. So they keep trying to, like, take it apart. Because, like, you see, like, his body, like, on the ground. And it's clear, like, they, like, politely lifted it up and then placed it back on the ground and went through everything. And then they assume that the stuff's in Tracy. So they're like, let's do an autopsy. And Kaylee's like appalled by doing an autopsy.
Like, how dare you cut open this dead man?
I'm like, I know he's dead, but like, if you want to know cause of death,
it makes sense.
Do an autopsy. Yeah. Do a damn autopsy. Autopsy.
Get to do the autopsy.
Anyway, so he starts basically, Simon sees like a small scar on him, saying like there is probably something in him. Yeah. And he starts cutting. And then, spoiler alert, Tracy ain't dead.
He ain't dead.
He's very much alive.
Yeah.
Maybe more alive because he's got weird, not robot organs.
We were trying to discuss the science behind this and
genetically modified
about organs.
I totally forgot about the science because like.
Yeah, I didn't quite get it either.
Yeah, because like.
He got organs.
So basically he is smuggling illegal internal organs, and like our thinking was like, obviously, to get a really good doctor to take out all of this guy's organs.
Yeah, he even says that. He's like, yeah, they ripped out like the ones I got. And I'm like, wait, what? Like,
and
where
then,
are they?
Place them all right back in there so that they still... Sense. So then they place them all back in there to the, like the other organs back in to make sure that like they're still functioning and he can still function as a human. But then we had questions saying like, okay, well, what happens after that? Like, I'm assuming that the people who's going to sell who's supposed to give the organs to... Like there was a plan that they would just give him new organs. I
guess, but yeah, because if he's transporting, then
and also like
organs be over here,
and also like like there's a point where like he bleeds a bit. So like did they also replace all of his blood, or do they have to like reattach? Like you need to be a damn good doctor.
Yeah, I'm very confused here.
I've seen. Well, it's the future. They probably could. Simon could do it.
Sure, I'm sure he could. He's
like literally replace take out every single organ and make sure. Well, I know like if you take out organs, like you just put the machines in them to make sure they still you stay alive.
Yeah, but then you have to worry about like rejection and all that stuff.
I'm just gonna assume futuristic. You don't need to worry about that.
All right, future organs.
Yeah,
3D printing.
Basically, he got a higher bid on the organs but then the original buyers, who were the Alliance guys, killed the new customer, and he's running away.
Yeah.
Yep.
There he goes.
And then Book comes in to save the day.
Book is just a good
He
man.
does. Well, they're thinking of a plan, and they tell Tracy to just like go away. They'll figure it out. So
the adults are talking.
He goes with Kaylee, and we're mad.
Oh yeah, we're getting
because now he's alive. Now there's a fighting chance.
Oh yeah, you're like, no, please don't. There's like a connection there, and you're like, oh no, like you see them like lock eyes, and every time like a man and a woman lock eyes on television, you're like, oh man, it's done.
Well, I think it's
over.
I think it's because like all you see is like because especially with like Kaylee, all she saw was that one message. So like. Obviously, like if you just see somebody from like a message, you don't actually know them as a person. But like from one message, you could see somebody as like being a really sweet, thoughtful guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
who just might be a bit of a dumbass. Yeah. So like she's thinking like, oh, this is such a nice guy. Like like he'll probably and like I think we talked about this with Kaylee that like she is like she does believe that like she has too lower standards for Simon. That like. She's too low class for him. So, like, and this guy's probably the same class. So she might be thinking that, too.
Yeah.
Even though Simon likes her. Simon's okay with it. And he's a fugitive now. They're on the same class, basically.
Basically.
They're
all a bunch of ruffians.
So the book says, okay, like he does some research on the alliance ship, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
And he basically says, like, they have this big fight through, like, a snow caves, which we said for special effects, like, 2002 television budget, they're good effects.
That's pretty good effects. I think even for now, television, like, TV effects, it's still
They've got holds, I've seen Game of Thrones. They've kind of, although granted, Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, well, that's like HBO. That's like,
I know.
I mean, if you go to like standard
one episode
television,
or like a whole battle costs like $10 million. It was good. It was a good battle, though.
Yeah, but I mean, like standard network television, the effects are still kind of like, yeah, all right, better, but.
So basically, the book says, so then they're landed, and the book says, just bring them on the ship. Mm-hmm. And then Tracy gets to hear to this and gets upset and points a gun at people.
Yeah.
And like he does kind of threaten Wash.
Yeah.
To which we said, if you threaten Wash, like Zoe's gonna murder you.
Yeah, straight up.
He's gonna like snap your neck.
Yep.
And guess what happens? Wash does not get murdered, by the way.
She doesn't shoot him.
Well, we'll say Wash doesn't get murdered, but she does like shoot near his head.
Yeah.
And like it grazes him.
Yeah.
But like she immediately shoots him in the chest.
Yep.
And I'm like, good on you, girl.
Yep.
Protect your man. So, but like, look, yeah, he just got grazed, so he's fine.
Yeah, he's good.
And then he takes Kaylee hostage.
Yeah, just for the.
And then I'm like, dude, like, if you're gonna choose between a man who takes you hostage and an idiot, go with the idiot. Like Simon's an adorable idiot.
Yeah, adorable.
And I know,
if you will.
And like he feels bad about it, but still. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, God. Mm-hmm. And like at this point, you're kind of like not liking Tracy, but like I understand why he's doing this. Because he's afraid they're going to turn him over and they're going to get killed. Meanwhile, but they do it eventually. They get the Alliance guy on the ship, and they're still like kind of like they want to get Kaylee out of harm's way. So then Jane shoots him in the chest again. Mm-hmm. This time, probably not as good as the other one. Mm-hmm. Well, like as good, but you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. He might be wounded like really badly. Anyway. Womack comes on the ship, and a book basically says that he is clearly lower. Like he's saying, like, why didn't you call the Alliance? Mm-hmm. There's a station nearby, and it turns out that they were doing this like illegal organ thing illegally, as one would say. Mm-hmm. And if anybody would find out that basically they would be in serious trouble because they are lower ranked and they should not be doing this, as the book says.
Right.
So they leave.
They just peace out.
And then Tracy's like, oh, that was the plan? Fuck.
That was the plan the whole time. Oh, my God.
Oh, wait, I'm dying.
Oh, wait, there he goes.
Yep. And we're
just
like, oh, God, you idiot. And he does apologize to Kaylee. Let's say that. For taking her out. And like that was like a genuine apology.
Yeah.
He was upset. And then he does actually ask Mount Zoe, can you take me back to my family?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah.
Really,
and then he actually says the old saying, when you can't walk, you crawl. And when you can't crawl, you find someone to carry you. And then they bring him back to the body. Not the body. They bring him back to his home planet. And it's like, there's some nice scenery there.
Oh, yeah. It was a very like wintry, like snowy. It was a very like a Christmas Carol kind of feel.
Yeah. With a funeral.
Yeah.
And they had some really nice music playing. Did you like the music there?
I like the music.
It was like nice and yeah. So that was that.
Yeah.
And so fun facts, because I was referencing the music.
Let's bring up those.
So there was some fun facts. So this was the last episode filmed.
Really?
Yeah, this was the last episode filmed, and this time everybody knew that was going to be canceled. So what was it? So basically the final scene they filmed was the funeral scene. Mm-hmm. So as you can say,
okay,
and also the music, which was like a funeral ballad, it was also a funeral for the show. Mm-hmm. So it makes you more sad.
Yeah.
So that's like a big thing. So that's a big thing.
Not fun. That's sad.
It's sad. Well, whatever. So what do you think about this episode?
I really like this episode, actually. I think it might be my favorite one so far.
Oh, really?
I mean, we only have one left, but yeah. Well, because I think parts of the show I think are really what I was thinking the show or what I was expecting going into it. Mm-hmm. Like beginning with the opening scene, I mentioned this during the commentary, but that set design, I loved it. I think it was a really good mix between like that futuristic space feel, but still had kind of those weird old elements. Like it felt, certain parts even felt like had like kind of a steampunk feel to it, especially, when you're incorporating
especially
that
the
Western
skull hat.
Yeah, especially the skull hat, that weird guy who talks about aliens. Mm-hmm. But I think that said, I think is what I was expecting when, you know, somebody would tell me what the show was about. That's kind of what I was feeling. And I think it also incorporated a lot of talking about how there was, you know, like a war resistance thing going on before the show plot happened, really bringing that back. I think that's a really interesting aspect of the show, and I really like that they tapped into it and that really played its own role in the plot. And so I don't know, I think this episode kind of had a really different feel of some sort for me. I guess that's maybe because it was the last one filmed, or I'm not sure how it was written, but like I think this is the episode where I felt like it was really coming into its own. I said that about previous episodes, but I think this one, if it would have kept on the feel of this episode as far as like certain aspects, I think it would have been really solid. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I really like this episode. I don't know if I would call it, like, it's not an episode that I go back to pretty often.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's just kind of like, I like the beginning bit, and I love the end. The end is great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think it's just kind of like the middle bit. I don't know.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, okay, but like, I get like people, I think it is like one of the more like top ranked episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I like all the acting. And I think just like the middle, like I usually just like I find the middle is kind of forgettable.
Yeah, I agree. It's like the beginning and the end are really solid. Yeah, the middle's kind of like, it's like, more like a regular Firefly episode, which doesn't mean it's not bad at all, but it doesn't outshine other parts, I guess.
Well, I think it's just like most like there's like those like shows and even movies where like it could just be like a middling movie, but like the end or like the beginning are just like so good that you kind of just are like, okay,
yeah,
so solid.
Yeah, like I said, I really like this episode. It had some things I think I was really expecting to see from this show, if that makes sense. So that's why I really liked it.
Yeah. All right, we'll be right back, and we'll be talking about Heart of Gold. And we're back. And we'll be talking about Heart of Gold, which is episode 13.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let go.
Yep. And this episode actually was not broadcast in the original Fox run because it was near the end.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. I think there was like, I forget what episode they actually stopped on, but like there were like a few episodes that didn't actually air.
Yeah, that's usually
that happens. Yep. So we start off in the best little whorehouse in the verse. And we meet some hookers with hearts of gold.
Title drop.
Those are all the puns I got. We start on
it is nice whores over here.
What was that?
I don't know.
I can't do that. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, this is actually like a whorehouse.
An actual literal
as Inara
whorehouse.
says, like she, like the person, like these people are not under. Oh, for us, well, I mean, we'll get to that, but like they're not in the guild.
Yeah,
the companion guild, so they are not respected. They are like we might say whore a lot.
Not respected, but just not. Not belonging to that group of people. So they're kind of their own thing.
But the men,
the men,
the men. Oh,
that's just men being men, though.
Anyway,
let's be honest.
So we meet a man named Rancing Burgess, and he's accompanied by his thugs, because it's thuggy thugs.
His thugs.
And they go to this whore run by Nadi, who
Nandy.
Nandy. Okay. Oh yeah, it's Nandy. You're right. And we love Nandy.
Nandy's good.
She's
just good.
She's a good one. She's a good woman. And he went, but Burgess is not after Nandy. He's after this girl named Penteline, something like that.
Pentelina or something.
Pentelina, because she is clearly with child.
Ooh yeah, she got a big old belly.
Yeah, she got a big old belly. As we see, she is probably, because like considering what happens later on, because the thing says several months pregnant. Considering what goes on, I'm pretty sure she's like. It was weird because like she didn't look like she was about to pop. Yeah. But then, spoiler alert, she pops.
Yeah. Oh, she definitely pops.
It might have just been the pregnant belly that they had.
Yeah.
And he gets like a thing and sticks it in her stomach.
Yeah, he just gets a big old like turkey baster.
Basically, he wants to prove that like the child is his.
Yeah. Doing some DNA BS.
Which I guess like the amniotic fluid.
Oh yeah.
Could I do that?
Maybe. I'm not sure if that has DNA.
We've never been. Here's the thing. We've never been pregnant.
I don't know anything
we don't have
about
any children.
Birth and no babies.
We're young. We're not worried about it.
Yeah.
So So this guy, I'm just like, I mean, like, I just made the joke saying, like, he seems like a nice guy. He wants to support his child.
Yeah.
Maybe. Nice guy. He looked like, seriously, like if Bryan Cranston and Hugh Grant had a baby.
Ooh.
Right?
A little bit?
Like, for a second, like, I saw his hair, and I'm like, Bryan Cranston? I knew it wasn't Bryan Cranston. That would be funny if it was Bryan Cranston.
I was just more focused on certain political figures who reminded me of.
Anyway. Okay, look, we got to say this. Because I said this in the commentary, and I wrote it down in my notes in big, bold letters. We're not doing politics.
All right, we're not
even though
politics.
we have the urges.
Oh, so many. They're very strong.
Like, I mean, at least, I mean, the only like people that he's mean towards is women, and just the whores.
Just the whores. It's fine.
So anyway, basically, apparently Nandy is a good friend of Inara's, and she makes a stress call saying, "Can y'all help us?
Yo, we got
this guy
shiz
who wants to take this baby, who at this point we don't know if it's actually his baby." Did you assume that it was?
I didn't think so.
Really?
I was going to say no. Yeah.
Not
his baby.
Did you assume there's going to be like some kind of battle though?
Did I assume there's going to be a battle?
Like in the episode?
I wasn't really thinking a battle. I mean, I just figured they're calling the Firefly crew. Somebody's going to fight, and there's going to be like...
Do you think it's going to be a fight, basically?
Yeah, fight. Yeah, sure.
Even if it wasn't his, he would still want to be like...
Yeah, they're still... Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because, so they're not... Basically, Inara explains to Mal that they're not companions. They are actually whores. Mm-hmm. And Mal's like, okay.
I'm not sure why they didn't just use the word prostitute. Like, 'cause that's a little more respectable, right? Prostitute?
No, I've heard like people call some people. I've heard some prostitutes call themselves like whores.
I guess I feel like whore has more of a negative
like
connotation.
Because there is, but if you say whore as in like somebody who like is a prostitute whore, that's okay. That's like that's respectable. I think I've seen like things about it, and they say that's respectable, and they're like, I'm like, okay, so I don't mind it.
Take the word for it.
And then so Mal's being a gentleman and says he will not accept any money for it, but he will help them. Mm-hmm. And so they all go down, and basically, like they say, like if you don't want to help out, don't help out. And there was this funny thing where Jane doesn't want to go
because he doesn't want to help people for the sake of helping people,
but he does want to help out whores.
He does, yeah. Well, if there's whores involved, he'll be there.
Yeah, he will. Of course, he will. Were you surprised?
No,
not even.
I was expecting that.
But again, unlike the other men in this episode, Jane will still ask for consent. Granted, I'm pretty sure the guy asked for consent. He paid.
It's iffy. Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure she didn't give him consent to knock her up, though. That's where we get them there.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure most prostitutes don't give consent to getting people getting pregnant.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Our ethics discussion. All right.
Ethics. Oh, God.
All right, let's go.
But basically, like, he brings up, because they want to explain that, because they're basically there. They want to say Nadia. Nandy. Basically, they want to know if this child, like, could be his.
Yeah.
And she basically says that, like...
It was like 50-50, right?
It was 50-50 because, like, yes, like, he was Pentalina.
It was
Petalina. Well, it's a T. I got it.
Yeah, Petalina. Like petals.
Was his favorite.
Yeah.
But she had other men. Mm-hmm. So it could be 50-50. And basically he's looking for an heir, which I had a problem with.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know how it works. No. Like, I meant like actual standard wives.
Okay.
Because I don't know how it works in the future. But if you actually look at like monarchy and stuff, a bastard child or a bastard child, illegitimate child cannot be an heir.
Yeah.
It needs to be like a full-blooded child. Like this, you can't.
Right. But this wasn't like a monarch situation, though.
But he said he wanted an heir.
Well, like I think
for what?
Like heir to like an estate of some sort, like property or something. But
even then, you still would want to like. They say basically like his wife cannot. I assume either can't have.
She was a dried up prairie dog. I really like that line. I thought it was really funny.
Oh God, I forgot about that line. I thought you just made that up.
No, that's an actual line.
Well, like because I wasn't sure like if she just couldn't have children or like. Because she didn't like you could say menopause, but like she didn't look that old.
No, I think she was just barren.
There you go. So I guess like, but even though if it's just a state, wouldn't you still want a full-blooded child? Or are you gonna get or you can?
I don't know how it works in the future, man.
Yeah,
you probably have to, take what you.
But anyway, so they get to the whorehouse, and this is like a good, like a quality whorehouse. It's not just for straight men and lesbians. It's also we call them gentleman whores.
Nice.
So they are for women and gay men. It is like that. I think that's
equal
nice.
Opportunity.
Like, that's nice. We don't see a lot of gentlemen whores. We would go there. They seem nice.
I'd pay a visit.
Kaylee's upset. She might get a little banging.
Maybe.
She might get examined. Not from Simon. Simon's got to examine the pregnant woman.
Oh, the pregnant lady.
Because she's pregnant, not because of other reasons.
Word.
Kaylee. Anyway. And some of the... Yeah. And basically Mal says, okay, let's go size them up. So him and Inara go to a party where Burgess is going to be there. Mm-hmm. And basically they just want to see like what he's like. And he's not going to mention that not Nadie. And basically think that they're in an alliance. So he's just trying to understand him. And he sees his very shiny phallic symbol.
Yes.
And Reynolds like, yep, this guy's trouble. We should just go.
We should GTFO.
Like that's the thing. Like they want and granted, Mal's be nice. He doesn't just want to get his crew out of the way. He wants to get all of them out.
Yeah,
they'll go somewhere. Mm-hmm. It's fine. But before we get to this big like plan thing, Burgess gets kind of confirmation that Petalina's baby is his.
Yeah. And
in front of his wife, because we were like wondering.
Yeah, we're like, does she know
if the wife? Yeah,
it's awkward.
I guess like if you know you're barren and you know that your husband wants an heir, you're probably maybe.
I guess maybe I'll allow it.
I don't know. We didn't really get to know the wife. I don't really care.
No, she was only there for like 3 seconds and she left.
I don't really care. Anyway, what was it? And they also bring up like so basically they go back to the brothel, and Reynolds just like, we're gonna get out of here.
Yeah.
And but Nadie's just kind of like, look, I earned this property. I'm gonna protect it.
Rip it from the hands of men.
Yep, I will protect it. If you guys want to go, you can go, but I'm gonna stay. And they're like, all right, we're gonna stay then. They're gonna help out. They're gonna have a.
Well, that settles that.
Yep. Meanwhile, they're like preparing for the fight, and I want to talk about this. There was a conversation that Zoe and Wash had, about having a baby.
Yeah, I don't know. That kind of came out of nowhere. I thought.
I think it's because like they're in a. I don't think it came out of nowhere. Basically, like they're dealing with a woman who's pregnant. And
no,
like,
I mean, I didn't feel like there was any setup for the conversation at all. Like I knew it had its place within the plot because of just things that were going on, but I feel like they could have, I don't know, did something subtle earlier to set up for that conversation.
I think we came in like mid conversation.
Yeah, but still, I mean, like not even in that scene. I mean, in an earlier scene earlier in the episode, something come up, like even just like, you know, a camera shot that just stayed a little too long to like kind of set up that this was a conversation that was going to happen, because I do feel like it kind of came out of nowhere. Yeah, well,
and the conversation basically is that Zoe wants a baby. And Wash doesn't. It's not that he doesn't want a baby. It's the fact that like the way that they live, which is basically like they're smugglers and they travel a lot.
It's dangerous.
It's dangerous to have a baby. And Zoe just, I forget her line, basically like, I'm have something. If I'm prepared to lose it, that doesn't mean I'm not going to stop myself from like having it.
Right.
So what do you think of that conversation? Like, besides the fact that it came out of nowhere, like, what do you think of the conversation in general?
Oh, it was an interesting conversation to hear. I don't think I was expecting it. But it was interesting.
Do you have like a side, or do you have an opinion?
Not really. I don't think I have a side in it, because I think both parties are valid. So I'm like, let them work their own stuff out.
I mean, like, I wrote in my notes basically saying like obviously like if you travel a lot and you have a baby, that's fine.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, they're in like situations where they could get killed.
Yeah,
that was my concern.
Yeah,
that like, do you want to bring a baby into like a time in your life where the chances of you getting killed are actually fairly high?
Yeah,
like I know that you're good at like what you do, but like, you could get killed and then your baby's going to be parentless.
Yeah,
that was my thing. If she knows, who knows? Anyway, meanwhile, Penelina goes into labor, and I'm like, oh no, this is not good, because it's easier to like, if you want to hide, it's easier when you don't actually have like a baby outside of the womb. Who might be crying. It's better just keep it in there. Fortunately. And luckily it was one of those things where like she was in labor for like a short amount of time, because like she doesn't have the baby till like the morning.
Yeah.
She was in labor for a while.
Yeah.
Like at night at least.
Yeah.
And so basically with her is Inara, Simon, and River, who's very interested.
Her facial expressions are really funny. She's like, oh God, it's a baby. Oh God, what's in there?
I feel like she knows what babies are, but like,
I'm sure she got it.
But also, we have some interesting conversations with Nady and Reynolds.
Oh yeah,
with Mal, and they're actually, it's like a really nice conversation.
Yeah, I really liked how that scene went,
and they have really good chemistry.
Yeah, I agree.
And like, I think Nady's interested about like if he's into Inara, which like I do kind of get confused by their. I'm not sure if it's like he doesn't realize that he has feelings for Inara. I think that might be it, because like Inara,
he's oblivious to all of it,
but so basically. Nady gets kind of interested in him. I don't think romantically. I think mainly sexually. She wants to bang.
Yeah.
And they do.
Ain't no harm in that.
And it is a nice, unlike other people, a nice consensual sex.
Yeah.
Everybody's into it.
Yeah.
We're all good.
It was a good scene.
We're all good. But yeah, that was the thing, because like I think he might be oblivious, and like there might be a thing.
Definitely.
But I think I think he does have feelings for her. But then he might also have feelings for Nady, which like you can have feelings for more than one person at a time.
Word.
It's fine. Do you think he was interested in Nady romantically or just sexually?
I think there was an interest there. I'm not sure if it was romantic, but I think it was definitely just like
this might be our last night. Let's.
Yeah, well, not even that. I think there was just a general like. I think their personalities meshed really well.
They did.
So it was just like a chemistry there, which doesn't necessarily have to equal out to romantic, sexual, or platonic. I just think it's just that kind of connection.
I think the thing is like Nady like knows that like there might be some like feelings towards him and Inara, but like she really wants. I think she just really like is upset, and she wants to be like. I mean, like Inara says, like she probably wanted to be comforted.
Yeah,
and that's how she gets comforted, because she says the line like "I ain't her," and he's just kind of like okay, and then they do it. So like I think like she knew the feelings, but like I think it was either like she didn't know if Inara had these feelings too.
Yeah, no, she didn't.
Because I feel like I think like
that
she
Inara
knew
had those feelings, because she says that later. She's like, oh, I didn't realize, or I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, one of the whores, whose name is Cherry, is betraying them. The bitch. She's a bitch. Okay.
Yeah, she is.
She totally betrays them. And then Burgess gives a speech, and
a speech.
I know it.
With
we're not doing no political commentary.
Right, I will restrain myself.
Oh, I wrote it down. Like I'm
gonna have to see these notes on right now.
I wrote it down. Okay. I mean, it's mostly just like chicken scratch. Like you can see my chicken scratch. I'm just gonna like do. But they have it here basically what he says. Farley's men proclaiming women's ordained place as submissive servants to men.
Wonderful.
And the way he shows that is, this says here, demonstrates by ordering Cherry to kneel in front of him to do a few more chores. Again, and like...
Blowjob of shame.
Blowjob of shame. Anyway, but actually, like, it is a blowjob of shame, because, like...
That's exactly what it is.
She's not going to get cunnilingus back.
Oh, no.
You know that.
No, he ain't even... No.
Like, Mal, like, if Nady or even Inara gave him a blowjob, he would give cunnilingus back.
Oh, yeah.
Like a good man.
You gotta go both ways.
It's fine. But I brought up our Mrs. Reynolds that episode.
Yeah.
Because in that episode, we talked about how, like, Joss Whedon, like, kind of pushes towards like saying that he's a feminist.
Yeah, we had a really interesting discussion about it.
And I feel like this episode's kind of similar in that sense, like saying that like he's pushing it, saying like no, like women are strong, and like how do we make this man super evil, make him a giant misogynist. Anyway, so that happens. Anyway, and then the next morning comes, Mal gets out of bed and runs into Inara. And you're like, aw.
Yep.
But Inara like actually acts really calmly. Like she acts like Inara, basically. I'm like, no, I'm glad. Like she obviously needed comfort, and she makes a joke saying that like she went below her standards. But then you actually do see her feelings, and she's crying. I'm like,
that was sad.
Oh, or not. They're like that couple that they're because like the other couples kind of like. I feel like when it comes to like television show couples, like Zoe and Wash kind of like the oddity, because like they're just like a happily married couple, but you don't see that often. It's not, they're not a will they won't they are together.
Yeah.
Simon and Kaylee are kind of just like the cutesy couple.
Yeah.
And then Mal and Inara are basically the will they won't they couple. So, which is for me, it's slightly the more boring. Like I either prefer cutesy or like happily married nowadays.
Yeah.
Just because like I'm so used to the will they won't they, it gets annoying.
It does get kind of old. You have to find good ways of doing it.
I don't know how they would have done it in the show. I'm kind of curious like if they would have. I mean, we'll get to the end, but But then they have the battle. We don't really bring up Jane that much because there's nothing that interesting. He gets with a whore.
Yeah, he hooks up.
She was pretty though. She looked like, I said she looked like,
I liked her outfits.
I did. It was like a mix of like country and then like the top, which kind of looked like a belly dancer outfit.
Yeah.
And I said she looked like Jessa from, I forget if her real name's Jessa or in the show her name's Jessa on Girls, if anybody knows.
I don't watch Girls, so I don't know.
I don't think you'd like it. I got bored with it after a while.
I don't think you like it. It's a show about girls.
No, not that. No. It's more just like, anyway, back to Firefly with likable characters.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
there you go.
Tell them.
Anyway, so then they have, so then Burgess and his men come in and they have set up some traps. And they start with the fighting. And so we should point out the Firefly is supposed to be like up in the air trying to help them out. Mm-hmm. But some of Burgess's men get on the ship.
Yep.
And Kaylee and Wash are kind of, they're taking a bit hostage and they come up with a plan. It was, I'd say it's probably like a 70% like good plan. Mm-hmm. The one flaw was that they locked themselves in an area so they can't actually fly. Mm-hmm. Like the smart thing would have been to lock themselves in like the cockpit, so they could fly at least. Mm-hmm. But anyway, gun shooting, all of the gun shooting, and Catalina gives birth to the baby boy.
It's a boy,
as River says.
It's a boy. Wow.
And they actually lose track of Burgess, and then they do find him. Mm-hmm. Well, actually, they don't find him. He gets in the room, threatens everybody, and they get and he gets the baby for not as long as you think he would. He only had it for like a couple minutes. Yeah. Because Nady comes in and she basically threatens him with a gun. And then you like Nara what she did.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love the line.
She basically like puts a knife to his neck and basically says like, it's like seeing your own blood or something.
Yeah, something about
like, here's your blood.
This is my blood or something.
And he says like, this is like my flesh and blood. And then she's like, no,
this is your blood. I'm like, yes.
Yeah. And so then,
wonderful.
Because obviously he's got a knife just so he can't actually move with the baby. Mm-hmm. So then another woman grabs the baby. And then he shoots Nady with the laser, and she's just dead.
She's just that. It was like point blank.
That
like
sucked.
She did.
I really liked her.
Depressing. She's really cool.
I really liked her. I really liked everything. I liked her acting. I liked her chemistry with everybody. Mm-hmm. She was a good actress. Mm-hmm. And then they kept Burgess and the other men, and they basically have them like down, and then. Burgess is still yelling because he wants to see his baby. Mm-hmm. Penelita comes up in a badass moment.
Yeah.
So good. I've always like, I don't know why. It didn't really bother me, but I was curious. Like her shirt's like always up.
Yeah.
Like so you could see her stomach.
Yeah.
Like I got it when he was like injecting the thing.
Yeah.
And I kind of got it when she was having the baby that like her stomach was showing, but then there's a point she just forgets to put her shirt down.
It's just like, it's a Billy.
And she's holding her baby whose name is Jonah.
My name is Jonah.
And she basically, I love this because she's just like, what is it? Like Burgess, this is Jonah. Jonah, say hi to your daddy. Shoots him in the head and says, say goodbye to your daddy. And I'm like, yes.
It was awesome.
Because like you could say like, oh no, he deserves justice. Like, no, just kill him.
Nope.
That's like a half burp.
I'm not really sure what that was.
And then, but they have a funeral for Nady, and it's very sad. They need some bagpipes. And then, so they have the funeral, and then Serenity goes away. And then, Anara and Mal are talking, and basically, I think she gets more okay with the fact that Nady said the fact that Mal and her had her last night was like with somebody who she respects, and like it was a nice night.
Yeah.
So I think she's a bit more happy about it. Mm-hmm. And Mal's just upset that he couldn't save her. Mm-hmm. And I think now, like, because of what Nady basically said, like, Mal, you lied to me. Mm-hmm. Basically not knowing about Inara's feelings. So, like, the fact that, like, he knows now, and the fact that, like, he kind of realizes. So he wants to say it. And then, what is it? And then basically Inara brings up the point about, like, when you make a family, like, you never want to leave it.
Yeah.
And then she brings up the point that she's going to leave.
She's like, I have something to tell you. And you're like, oh, man, where's this going to go? And
you knew where it was going.
I knew where it was going. I so knew.
What do you think of Inara wanting to leave? Like, instead of, like, acknowledging her feelings?
I don't know. I was kind of like, yeah,
I was like, I saw that line coming, so I was like, all right, where are we going to go from here? I don't think it's going to last long in the series. Oh, I mean, we only have technically one episode left.
Well, the movie.
Theoretical, I didn't think that was going to last.
Last long. We also have the movie.
Yeah, true. But if the show, in like a hypothetical sense, the show had kept going on, that was going to only last for like a couple episodes.
I think the thing that kind of bothers me about it, because she basically says like a thing about like Nady created a family, and that when you have this like strength with like all these people, you never want to leave. Mm-hmm. But why do you think she wants to leave? Mm. Is it because of Mal, or is it? I mean, obviously Mal's a part of it.
Oh, Mal's definitely part of it. Yeah.
But like, is it because like she doesn't want to be a companion and have like a boyfriend or like even like a romantic interest in it? Or like, do you think? I've always wondered this because like she's a companion, like all of her relations are basically like there might be like a tiny bit of romance, but it's mainly like sexual and like sensual. Maybe she's just like not used to romance anymore.
That's interesting.
That's just a theory. I don't know if I'm right.
Yeah.
That's just an idea of mine.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know. I didn't really have any
I like that idea of like thinking about it, that like if somebody just like does like sex, do they just forget about the romance?
I'm not sure they would forget about it, but it's definitely
something that they don't really.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think of this episode?
I like this one. This was a solid episode, I thought. Like, it had some good points. I didn't like it as much as the last episode, obviously, because I really liked the last episode. But I thought this episode is really interesting if you want to, because, like I said, we kind of brought this point up in Our Mrs. Reynolds about, like, concepts of feminism and how it applies, or, like, the Joss Whedon brand of feminism. And this episode, I think you can make for some really interesting discussion by bringing this up. Because I think the episode really tries to have, like, this feminist appeal in that it's like women who are in control of their sexuality versus very obvious like strong misogynist men. But then if you get into like the nitty gritty of it, I think you can really bring out some points that are a little more in the gray area. So like, I'm not sure.
Or you don't know?
No, well, it's interesting. I don't know, because I don't know. I think you can just get into some not weird spaces, but just like some interesting discussions when you're talking about women, especially who are like, horse prostitutes, whatever. And then it's talking about how like, it's like, oh yes, strong women, but the strong woman in this episode dies. That's a really interesting point.
But she does die like defending.
Yes, but she still
really
dies. Yeah. But she still dies. And I think that's definitely something interesting to bring up because, I don't know, there's also really interesting points like bringing, like when character death, I guess, is appropriate or when it's like done right. That's a whole other discussion. Also, another thing with female characters, we have, they're supposed to be like strong people, but then we have the dude's wife who's only in it for like 3 seconds and she doesn't get any character. There was definitely potential. They didn't really have room for it, but that if they were trying to get a spin on like both sides, I think they could have given her some character. You know what I mean? So I think there's some of the nuanced parts of it you can really argue. Is it really pro-feminist, or is it like, does Joss Whedon get feminism right? I think because we've had that discussion before, if he does or if he doesn't.
Yeah, I got your point. This has been Feminist Corner with Kaylin. Well, I think like
this could be our own podcast if we just talking about
I think what I would say with that is like it seems like the plot for this, I don't even know. He didn't actually write this episode. This was written by Brett Matthews.
Yeah, well, I mean, it still has his brain.
But I'd say like like this, like the strong character is like in control of sexuality. Like she does die, but like it's not like she didn't die like for no reason. She died trying to defend one of her workers and their child. And then you also think of Penelina, like she takes like she is like somebody who seems like scared near the beginning, and then I think probably like when she has her child and like kind of like that mother thing where like you do not mess with this, and like she sees like this person that she cares about dies, she's kind of like, and then shoots Burgess. Is kind of like that's kind of I feel like that's kind of empowering. I think it's like I kind of prefer this a bit more than Our Mrs. Reynolds. I think that was like more shoving in your face, and yes, like you do have this misogynistic character, but then like the women are so much stronger in this episode.
Yeah, well, this does better because there's more women, and they have a lot of them have names and a little more, I guess, purpose. But I think there's a lot more to kind of get into, but I don't think it's worth getting into at this time. Yeah, because you'd have to analyze it a lot. I've only just seen this once. So.
Yeah. And like Nady's like really, and like most of like the women whores. I mean, I know they're like gentlemen whores too, but
the man whores.
It's kind of hard to like discuss that because it's not really about them.
Yeah.
But like they're all like with their like sexuality, and like I think the fact that we didn't bring this up, but like some of them wanted to pray with Book. And like that's kind of
that was interesting. I like that. I feel like that only was brought up twice though. I understand that this episode didn't have a lot of time to get into that.
So yeah, I mean overall, like, I know actually you said bring up the point of like characters who die for no reason. That might actually come up later on.
Oh boy.
We are not talking about it now.
Oh,
but we will be talking about it eventually.
Oh boy.
Maybe not even in the show. Who knows?
It's gonna come up at some point.
And
who knows when?
I will have words.
Oh, you will have words.
But anyway, that's the end of this episode. And we got one more episode, and then we got the movie.
Oh, yeah. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. The next episode we'll be doing is the final episode, Objects in Space.
Objects in Space?
That's what it's called.
That's a wonderful name for an episode.
It is.
All right.
And so that's the end of this episode. What was I was going to say?
You can find us.
You can. You can find us on Facebook at Woody Close Productions, Twitter at Woody Close, Patreon, Woody Close Productions, and gmail.com/Woody Close.
Yeah.
Or you know what I mean.
WoodyClose at gmail.com.
That too.
Email us. Send us a nice
I'm good.
or something.
You should just
not
do
spam though.
Not spam.
Please
Spam.
don't send us on
and
spam.
also positive.
Please subscribe.
Positive comments, constructive criticism, fine by us. And that's the end.
All right.
Peace.
Cool. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.
You can't take the sky from me.